When the short clip appeared online in March 2019, most viewers assumed it was another fan edit from an urban exploration channel. The video lasted just 47 seconds. A dim concrete corridor, the soft hiss of Geiger static, and a single line of text at the end. They never left. Within 24 hours, it had been deleted. But by then, enough people had saved copies to begin asking a question that would spiral across forums for the next 2 years. Who was Elias Koren? And what exactly did he film inside Chernobyl's restricted zone? Koren was not famous, though within the closed world of urbex, urban exploration, he was respected. He was a quiet Polish filmmaker in his late 20s who preferred to let footage speak for itself. His early uploads showed decaying sanatoria, Soviet-era observatories, and abandoned amusement parks. He never used voiceover, only on location sound and date stamps in the corner of the frame. Friends describe him as careful to the point of obsession. He would spend weeks studying maps before entering a site, one collaborator said in a Reddit AMA months after his disappearance. He wasn't a thrill seeker, he was a recorder. In February 2019, he posted a short message on his private Discord, going to document Reactor 4's auxiliary wing. There are corridors they don't include in tours. Records show he entered Ukraine on February 18, 2019, traveling from Warsaw to Kiev. A week later, GPS data from his phone placed him near Pripyat, a ghost city that borders the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. He signed in under a tourist group but reportedly slipped away after dark, following coordinates stored on a handheld GPS. 3 days later, his guide reported him missing. Authorities found his rented car near the perimeter fence, keys still in the ignition. Inside, investigators discovered 3 fully charged camera batteries, a cracked Geiger counter, and a notebook with only one line written inside: "The sound comes first." In April 2019, a Ukrainian blogger named Irina Marchenko uploaded what she claimed were clips from an SD card discovered near the plant service tunnels. She said she purchased the card at a flea market in Kiev from a vendor selling salvage electronics. The card contained 8 short video fragments. Most were ordinary: dust-filled hallways, stairwells, empty control panels. But 2 segments drew attention. The first opened with Koren whispering in Polish. Battery low again, no reason. The timestamp jumped erratically. First 12:13, then 12:02, then 12:18, as though the camera couldn't decide what moment it was in. The second segment showed a narrow turbine hall filled with a fog of vapor. The Geiger counter clicked rapidly, then stopped altogether. In the corner, the audio recorded a steady pulse at 2-second intervals, like breathing or distant machinery. Experts from a Kiev university reviewed the footage and concluded that radiation interference could have corrupted the camera's clock and audio channels. Still, they couldn't explain why the pulse continued after the video cut to black. By mid-2019, online investigators began mapping every identifiable corridor in the footage against blueprints of the reactor complex. One hallway, a long passage lined with warning signs in faded Cyrillic, didn't match any known section open to tours. The layout resembled a maintenance shaft that was supposedly sealed after the 1986 disaster. Comments under re-uploads filled with arguments. "It's just editing. Those stairs aren't from Chernobyl. You can hear another person breathing behind the camera." Audio engineers who cleaned up the soundtrack reported that the breathing was not human. The intervals were too precise, mechanical, almost like a servo motor turning in rhythm. In October 2020, a British freelance journalist named Daniel Cray began compiling everything known about the case for an article in Eastern Shadows Quarterly. He traced the serial number on Koren's Nikon camera to a Warsaw electronics shop and confirmed it had been serviced 2 weeks before the trip. He interviewed Marchenko, who swore the SD card just appeared, among other equipment she bought. Cray also obtained a copy of a police report never made public. It included 2 photographs from the recovered memory card not released online. Both images were stills from the same corridor. In the first, the passage was empty. In the second, taken 1.5 seconds later, there was a faint white smear across the frame. Light bending along the wall as if a flashlight beam had warped mid-motion. Lab analysis determined it was camera flare. The pixel pattern indicated that the distortion came from within the digital data itself, as if the camera had recorded something the sensor couldn't fully translate. After Cray's article, interest in the case surged. New YouTube channels appeared analysing the footage frame by frame. Some claimed to see faces reflected in broken glass. Others heard whispers beneath the Geiger counter's static. Several of those videos were later taken down due to copyright claims filed under the name Corin Media, months after Corin had been declared missing. Forum moderators traced the takedown emails to an IP address originating near the Belarus border, close to the decommissioned power substation. The account vanished the following day. Skeptics proposed rational explanations, that someone was exploiting the mystery for clicks, or that Corin himself orchestrated a disappearance stunt. Yet no bank activity, passport use, or social media logins have been recorded since February 21, 2019. Dr. Nalivaiko, a physicist who worked on Chernobyl's containment project, reviewed portions of the tape in 2021. Her conclusion was cautious. Radiation can damage sensors unpredictably. Cameras may create false audio patterns or light artifacts. That doesn't mean there's something supernatural, only that the environment can imitate the inexplicable. She paused before adding, "But I will say, whatever produced that rhythmic pulse wasn't electrical interference. It's too regular, too intentional." In November 2022, a new video appeared on a dormant account named Decoy Records. It contained only a black screen and the faint hum of static. Spectrogram analysis later showed faint shapes spelling EK19, Corin's initials and the year of his trip. The upload originated from an internet cafe in Kiev's Oblon district. Security footage from the cafe showed no one at the terminal at the time of the upload. The cursor simply moved on its own, logging in and posting the file. Technicians later discovered that the computer's internal clock had jumped back exactly 3 years to February 21, 2019, the day Corin vanished. The last physical piece connected to the case surfaced in early 2024 when a cleanup crew working near the reactor's perimeter found a rusted tape recorder half buried in concrete dust. The device bore a fragment of a label, Core. Inside was a short reel of magnetic tape, badly degraded. Restoration specialists recovered only 6 audible seconds. It began with a hiss, then a voice, unmistakably Corin's, speaking softly in Polish. "If someone finds this, listen before you film. You'll hear them move." The tape ends with a low mechanical pulse fading into silence. To date, no new evidence has surfaced. Theories alternate between hoax, misadventure, and psychological breakdown induced by radiation exposure. Yet researchers who visit the same corridor claim that their equipment sometimes records inexplicable interference, a pattern of clicking spaced exactly 2 seconds apart. Maybe it's an echo from old wiring, maybe just imagination amplified by the emptiness of the zone. Or maybe, as one investigator wrote in his field notes, the most frightening thing isn't what Elias saw. It's that the camera kept recording long after he stopped.